Good morning, y'all. I don't know if we're live yet. Are we live yet? I think so. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Thursday morning edition of the International Live Stream of Mystery International Streaming thing. It is 11 o'clock in the morning here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And we welcome you and we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, there was something, and I need to. Oh yeah.
Mouse pads. We were talking about mouse
Oh
pads.
right. So I subscribe to the Seymour Rubenstein line of thought about mouses. Seymour Rubenstein, for those of you who don't know, was the original author of Wordmaster, which was a visual editor, which was the precursor to the modern word processor. The first commercially available, affordable to the masses kind of word processor was WordStar, which was based on Wordmaster. Wordmaster was written by Rubenstein himself, but he ran a company called WordStar International. It was originally called something else. And he famously once said that a mouse is a wonderful thing if you happen to have three hands.
That's very accurate.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, go ahead, Kirsten. You've got you're not doing the
I'm
jazz
not.
hands.
So this is jazz
Okay.
hands. I think fingers together, and this is gonna be me raising my hand. You know, we gotta come up with the signals. When you say word processor, is that like what's Microsoft Word today?
Microsoft Word is the modern word processor
Okay.
for the masses.
I just want to make sure that I was connecting those dots properly.
Yeah. So long before Microsoft Word,
Right.
there was Wordmaster, which everybody used. And again, this was even before the Mac or Windows or any of that. This is when computers like, had a CRT and it was all text. And Wordmaster was fabulous. I used it day in and day out for years. I know for a fact, there are some famous authors who are still using old CP/M-based computers running WordStar to write their books.
That's
I know this
amazing.
for a fact. It's like, it's like the baseball batter who is on a streak and won't change his underwear as long as he's still, his lucky underwear. It's like that. So yeah, but I love that quote. It very much um it very much is exactly how I feel about a mouse. I use a trackpad mostly. I used a trackball for a long time, but it was the drivers just were really, really flaky for my computer, and I just gave up and started using the Apple
Well, it's
trackpad
kind of
because it
like
works.
some authors or artists or whatever medium they choose. I know some people still use typewriters to this
Sure.
day.
Yeah. I know. I know a couple of authors who still, write by hand on a yellow legal pad.
You had to take it one step further. I thought I was being
Yeah.
cool and bring something interesting to the table.
Yeah. I apologize. I should let you have
It's
your moment
fine.
in the sun.
I think typewriters are cool.
I
I
can't
do
hear you.
too.
What?
I can't hear you.
Oh, I said I think typewriters are cool.
I love typewriters. I learned to type on a typewriter. I mean, in school they had typing class, and they had these old, Olympia typewriters where, some of the letters were up here, and then, I call them staircase typewriters. And you gotta really, with the pinky, you gotta work it out a little bit. Um, but and I I was always one of these typers, you know,
For shame.
3 fingers and a thumb, 3 fingers and a thumb. And then when I met the FMW,
The former Mrs. Wyman.
the
Yes.
the first Mrs. Weinman,
Good
um,
TLA.
yeah, the FMW.
Nice little TLA moment.
I have to pause for effect, right? Her job was actually, her job title was word processor, and she worked for Arco, and they had an entire floor of the Arco Tower in downtown LA. It was probably originally a typing pool, which was a thing in the 60s and 70s. But by this time they had word processors, and they were these IBM word processors. And they had like a vertical screen with a white background, and I'm going to move this out of the way here a little bit. And they had like a vertical screen with a white background, and all the words would come out, and they would type it. And she was clocked at 120 words per minute with accuracy. And this was
Wow.
intimidating to me as somebody who typed for a living, and so.
And also types like a toddler.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm having a really dry throat this morning. It's been like this for a couple of days. It's humidity is down in the single digits here in Vegas again.
Nice.
And so I got intimidated, and I went out, and I had this old Apple II Plus. Actually, Apple II was not even a Plus; it was an original Apple II. And I went out and I got a program called Type Attack, and it was a game that had it's like Space Invaders.
Yeah.
You have to type the words. There's a word in the spaceship. You have to type the word in order to shoot it down. A month later, I challenged her. I went out to her work and challenged her to a typing competition, and she still won. But I came in at about 115. I was really close.
That's still really good.
And literally, I jammed a Selectric. I don't know if you know what a Selectric is. It's like one of those, fancy electric typewriters with the little ball. I could jam one so fast.
Couldn't keep up with
Yeah.
the quick hands.
Yeah. And, the old manual typewriters with the little hammers, those were easy to jam. But a Selectric, that's a challenge, right? And to this day, I type with all my fingers. I don't have to look. It's actually a really useful skill. For a while, I had a keyboard that was blank, that didn't have any the keycaps didn't have any letters marked on them. It was just all black letters, and it was like D, my gender
Progeny.
neutral child. Pardon? My progeny.
Your
Oh, I
progeny.
like that. My progeny. My issue.
Gonna add that to the list of their comfort words.
Yeah.
I
my
was going to
progeny
say I was going to say something else, but it's not nice.
said to me, they used to say that it was a security feature. It's like stick shift for millennials. They get, they can't steal your car because they don't know how to drive a stick shift, and so not having the labels on the keycaps, it was like a security feature. I could tell somebody the password to my computer, and they still wouldn't be able to type it. Anyway, that was a fun little rant. There's another thing in the news that I thought was fun. Yeah, go ahead, Ricky.
Alrighty. Okay. So Gary says, "Hey everyone." Oh no, ThoughtSprite says, "Hey everyone." Gary says, "Hey." ThoughtSprite says, "Hey Gary," and then they say 115 words per minute. I need improvement. I have a problem with coding. I just can't do it anymore. It became boring. So how do I fix it?
Yeah, 115, not 150. Just to be clear.
That's what he said.
That.
He said 115.
Yeah, and I get bored with it too. And honestly, the thing that I do when I get bored with anything, is I just try to find an interesting challenge. I'll go look online. Sometimes I'll go to Stack Exchange, and I'll find some obscure question that hasn't been answered, and I'll sit down and I'll work out a response to it and post that. Um, or find a new interesting language and learn it, or take my new Python course that is coming soon. It's in post-production right now. Hopefully by the end of the month or early next month, it'll be on
Yay.
our YouTube. Yes.
Hey Bear,
or my C++
you...
course, if that's a challenge. I know that C++ is a challenge for a lot of people. And also the STL, the C++ STL is like, most people only know little bits of it. They don't really get into the weeds of it. My STL cookbook is great for that. I know I'm plugging all my products here, but
Shameless plug. Shameless plug. That's what
Yeah.
they're there for.
That's
no,
okay. That's
not even shameless.
exactly.
I have no shame to start with. So
There you go. So I have to hop off right now, but it was awesome to talk about keypads. That was very fun.
So I'm just gonna interrupt the live stream for a moment for a bit of business. How busy are you today?
Not super busy today. It's just right now till 11:30. There's something going on. So
All right. So
and then for the rest of the day, I'm more freed up.
So text me text me like a schedule, like what time I can start throwing shit at you.
Let's call it noon. That way I
Okay.
can get back home.
All right, great. Have fun.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Love
Bye.
ya.
Bye.
Love ya.
Bye. All right. So there's a couple of things that I want to do here. I want to talk briefly about Burger King.
Time out. Thoughts Bright off of what you just said. So you say I take bits of C++ and then go back to Python? ?
You can do that. In my view, the most valuable language to learn first is C or C++. C++ works just as well because it's really just C with classes and templates and STL and all that stuff on top of it. Because once you're proficient at C, and I'm not saying expert, but I'm also not saying beginner, like proficient, I could give you a problem and you could write it. Once you're proficient at C, picking up other languages becomes easy. And the reason for this is that C exposes and actually requires that you be familiar with the underpinnings of how a computer language works. Because a variable is not, in C, a variable is not an abstraction. It's actually a location in memory with a name in a namespace. Once you have that down and you understand how that works and you're comfortable and familiar enough with that to be able to use it in a lot of different otherwise dangerous environments, like using it on the stack or using it as static memory or whatever, once you're familiar with those concepts, then you go over to Python, where a variable is not that at all. A variable is simply a reference to an object. And once you understand, like in C++ references and pointers and variables and those things, and you're comfortable with them and they're like second nature to you, and you get the concepts on a fundamental level, then these other abstractions become easier to understand because you can go, oh, I know how that works. I could recreate that in C. I know, I have an idea, I know how that works. And then things like the side effects of variables in Python, which could seem really weird and abstract to a beginner or a novice, they'll just make sense. You'll just instinctually understand, oh, that's because it's a reference, right? So I absolutely recommend, and most people think I'm crazy, but I know I'm not crazy.
I'll second that.
Yeah, it's like the line in the song, my house told me that I was right on my head. The way he described it, he said it'd be better dead than alive. But there's a line in there about how everybody thought I was crazy because I wouldn't ride on the top of the double-decker buses. Yeah, I'm not crazy. If you learn the hardest thing first, rather than babying yourself, if you baby yourself and learn the simplest things first, and the harder things you may never even get there. But if you start with those harder things, and I don't mean harder in the sense it's just more abstract. It's more not even more abstract. It's just a little more technical. People tell you it's harder. It's not. That's the thing. But from there, because that's what everything else is based on. That was like the first really, really productive. I mean, Fortran came before that, COBOL came before that, but those are very abstract, high-level languages. It's really what all modern languages are based on is C and C++. So I appreciate that question. I'm glad we got to that. I don't know how much we could talk about Burger King tomorrow. Let's talk about Burger King tomorrow.
I will put it in the notes
You
so
put
that
it
you
in the
don't
notes.
forget.
You put it in the notes. I want to, I don't get into a lot of
Burger
politics here
King.
normally, but I just want to do one thing. I recorded a little video this morning and I want to share it. Can you give me back God power? Do I have God power?
She did before she left.
Okay, so I can close that. I can hit this, and all right. This is a little video that I recorded this morning, and I'm going to play it. Oh, yeah, that's the end of it. We need the beginning of it.
There's no sound.
Pardon me?
There's no sound
There's no sound?
coming through this end.
How do I fix that?
Maybe take your headphones out. Have we showed something with headphones?
No. The sound should go through the system.
Or is that just on my end? If anybody is
Well, no,
watching.
you should all be able to hear the sound.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be able to do it. So this will be posted. I'm not going to post it on LinkedIn. This will be posted on my Facebook page. So there's a whole change happening with Facebook, and I've been wanting to talk to the staff about it. But I used to have a separate professional page, and I have one, and it's got, I don't know, 25,000 followers or so. And but Facebook has changed things to allow you to make your personal page professional, and it can then serve both purposes. And I think I'm going to switch to that because I like I like the convenience of it, and and it seems to have some features that are different. So that's where this is going to be posted, and maybe we can post a link to it later. I'm going to have Ricky edit it a little bit, if she can find the time in her busy schedule.
Yes.
So
busy.
And it says good morning, and it's going to be late in the afternoon at this point before it gets posted. But
maybe it'll be morning for other people that see it.
Yeah, I could just read the script. Nah, I don't want to do that. All right. So anyway, we're running long. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for supporting. Oh, tonight is game night.
Yeah, buddy.
1800 Pacific, that's 6 p.m. for you muggles. And I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're playing. I have no idea. This is Ricky's thing, and I know everybody loves it. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So we're gonna have game night tonight. Please show up and play with us. Normally we have it on Friday nights, and I don't know what the future holds. Some people seem to like the Tuesday, Thursday thing instead of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. But I think game night belongs on Friday, like after work, TGIF, and all that. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Love you. And we will see you this evening for game night.
Woohoo! Bye y'all.